Welcome back to the series where we clean and renovate this Brooklyn brownstone that has been in my family for 100 years. On the third floor today, working on the kitchen, which is just left of this entrance. Gonna try to clean all of this today, since we have so much to do and we're just curious. Cleaning these appliances will at least make the space smell better. We were heavily recommended Barkeeper's Friend, especially for this vintage 1930s farmhouse sink. The sink is very original to the house. That's what the kitchen looked like in the 1950s. While we let that sit, we were onto these metal cabinets. We just wanted to experiment to see how much grime was truly on these, so we only ended up doing the right side, and it's shocking. This was years worth of grime.
You would think that he has like not a smiley face on this little guy.
I'm sure it's just grease from the stove below, mixed with a ton of dust. Similar to the farmhouse sink, these metal cabinets are original to the kitchen as well. However, they do not make these anymore, so salvaging these and trying to make them work with a new kitchen plan is going to be very difficult. We ended up just doing the whole thing just because I couldn't stand it, but finally so clean. Then on to the sink, which to be honest is sadly a lost cause. I thought more grime would come off, but it is very much on there. Maybe a good sand and repaint. I don't know. And just for fun, we did this corner of tiles on the ground, which also seems to be original to the kitchen, but only in this specific corner. The rest of the kitchen is wood, which I don't really understand how this happened, but whatever. Onto the fridge, which is making the room so smelly. Like, guys, I'm convinced something died in there because the smell was ungodly. This fridge needs to go immediately. This fridge was obviously replaced in like the 90s or something. Peeling these magnets off felt more like stickers than anything. They were on there. But it was cool the way that it was decorated. Mostly magnets from different states, but look at this difference. Wow. The pre-9/11 New York magnets are a crazy find. We also found a lot of cute magnets. We ended up keeping a lot of these. This fell from the side of the fridge. I don't know what this is. And this is like a spices and herbs chart. The left side of the fridge near the stove was the grimiest. Like, it was sticky. Once we got all of the magnets off, I just was curious to see what it would look like if we cleaned the front of it. But these stains were so old that it really didn't make a difference. I do think the chemicals made the room smell better. There are not even words to describe what this room smelled like. Oh yeah, and the stove. We tried to clean the stove. Even though I know very much that we have to get rid of it immediately, it didn't even turn on. But again, just out of curiosity, we just cleaned it just to see. We started with a vacuum on the top, and that's when we discovered this massive hole near the burners. Not that we were going to keep the stove to begin with, but the conditions of the appliances in this house made it really evident how neglected this house was. Oh my god. This is disgusting. So obviously an intervention was necessary, and that's why we are here. Honestly, Barkeeper's Friend and the pink stuff really did the job. Like, I'm pretty sure this is years and years worth of grime. We couldn't get it all the way perfect because of the hole, obviously, but at least made it a little more presentable and definitely fixed the smell a lot. If there's any room in this apartment that smells worse, it's the bathroom. Yes, this is exactly how we found the bathroom. My dad had to vacuum the sludge out of the tub. All of this, and we've barely just scratched the surface. Stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching. Bye.